everyone, welcome to Pennies and Pencils. My name's Roxanne. This channel is our channel for budgeting and home education. We are back from our holiday in Turkey, so I thought, seeing as I don't have any money to stuff, because there is no money left, that's another story, I would come to you with a video around our home education and how I plan it, what everybody does, kind of how we work life skills into it, and all those kinds of things. What home education looks like for the older ones, and then what it looks like for Elliot, because he's only 2, so you know he's not of school age, but I'm trying to ensure that he's getting plenty of time to have some focused learning in specific areas, as well as just the normal learning through play, which every child does, and we all manage to get our children to learn plenty of things before they go off to nursery or school or start a more official home education route. So I thought I'd talk about some of that today. Apologies for the printer. My husband is downstairs studying because he's got his university course that he's doing. The printer is right next to me because we've set up his new office but haven't yet managed to move all of the things over. So hopefully he won't have too much more printing to do. And also, you'll have to let me know how this setup is now. I managed to get a voucher through Prograd in kind of like a little side hustle thing, and got myself a little arm mount thing for my phone so I don't have to balance it on books or lampshades or whatever it was that I was doing before. So I hope that this is a much better setup. So I was going to show you. So I've written out what I do is once a week I write out our timetable for the following week. The children then know what they've got to do, when they've got to do it, who's where, who's doing what, and it's trying to help them recognise their own routines and what's required of them on any given day, because I get a lot of, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? I don't know if my children are just forgetful children or whether they just need a bit more prompting with the routine. So this is our lovely routine for the 1st of June. So everything goes in here so that we all know where everyone should be. Appointments go on here. We don't actually have any appointments next week, which feels a bit weird. We've normally got some kind of appointment going on for somebody. So this also will tell people that I'm either going to be, so my P&P budget, cash stuffing, this will mean that I'm doing a video. This will mean that I'm working out the budget for the following week. It also might mean another video that I'm doing. I'm thinking this one here, because I had another voucher. I actually managed to do an order of a new binder and a couple of little challenges from my little side hustling of playing games when I am nap trapped, or in the evenings when everyone's asleep and I'm just sat there trying to do something that is, I think people would class it as self-care. I'm not very good at the self-care thing. I said to my husband last night, I think I might need to work out how to build in some self-care. It's not a lot of money for self-care. However, for me, self-care is being able to do something where nobody else in my house is asking me to do something for them, get something for them, show me something, just literally just half an hour with a book and a cheeky little treat, a hot chocolate or a cup of tea. That to me is bliss. That's me time. So I'm gonna have to work out a way to start getting that in. My husband for Christmas did a 12 months of blind date with a book. If you haven't heard of that before, it's a really lovely way of gifting somebody who is an avid reader some books so that they can expand the genre of reading that they do. So he got me a load of books, wrapped them all up in like brown paper, and then wrote on there little captions from the book or little hints as to what the book might be about. And then on the front of them, he put a little pouch on, and there was like individual sachets of hot chocolate on there, and a couple of them had some really pretty little bookmarks on, and some chocolate eclairs. I really like chocolate eclairs, so he put a couple of chocolate eclairs in each one as well. So far I've read one of my 12 books for the year. So I really want to increase the amount I'm reading. So I need to work out how to do that, because I am a little bookworm and I do love reading. Life's just a bit busy at the moment. So anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Right, so meal planning. This is in bright yellow to remind me to sit down and do my meal plan before I go and do the food shop, because otherwise it goes all a bit wrong. And next week, our food shop, that money has to last us 2 weeks, so that's quite a lot. My husband does open uni. He's studying to do a cyber security course. He is got to be 2/3 of the way through year 1 now, so he studies every day. He's studying the equivalent full time, which works out to about 32 hours a week. It's a lot. He's got his own little office space downstairs, and he goes and hides in there, comes out for lunch, comes out for a walk of some sort every day, either with the dog or just with the children, and then goes back and studies again. So Bella, I've said before, she isn't officially home educated. We have an EHCP for her, and that is currently in the process of being redrafted and sorted out since we moved up to the Midlands from when we were living in Cornwall. Now, because she doesn't have a school to attend, they have to provide her with what is classed as full-time education until they can decide what type of full-time education she will have going forwards. Now, that's not going to be until at least September. So it definitely won't be a mainstream school. We've done that, tried that, failed miserably. We went through a tribunal in Cornwall, and they said that she could go to a specialist setting. That also failed. So now that we are up in the Midlands, we are trying to get her a package that is more bespoke. Her educational psychology report states that she needs something bespoke, so that's what we're trying to focus on. We're just waiting for the local authority to go through all the reports, put it all together, and decide what that looks like. It may mean that we have to go back to a tribunal and appeal what they suggest, but yeah, until really I think it's middle of July, we're not going to know what they're suggesting and what everything looks like going forwards. What I do know is that even if we have to appeal, because they have to continue providing her with a suitable education, what she's doing here should continue until we have the proper full-time plan in place. So she goes to a lovely horse stables, and they are starting her Haddon training, which is an equine training that's slightly different to the British Horse Society training. So this one, I believe they say that it's kind of like a city and guilds. So she'll be gaining qualifications through everything she's doing. She's going to do this 9:30 till 3, 2 days a week, and then she'll do her British Horse Society training, which is more equine qualifications, just in a different format and different. When she looks for work within the equine industry, both of these different types of training are valid. Some will prefer one to the other, which is why she's doing both. Although the idea is, what we would really like is for her to stay here until the end of what would be year 11, which would be June of next year. So she'll be out of secondary education in June of next year, and then her EHCP would actually transfer to this training company, and they will provide her with the training for her 16 to 18, so when people traditionally go to college. And then from that afterwards, the lovely lady who owns this stables has said that she would be happy to offer Bella an apprenticeship. So what kind of apprenticeship that would be, I'm not entirely sure yet. That's something they would need to discuss when she's really comfortable, when she's had the option to do all the different sides and routes of the equine industry. She did have a good look and is quite interested in farriery, which is where you put the horseshoes on. So that's something she'd probably be very interested in. So yes, now within this, she should also have some tutoring, which currently has not been sorted out. So that's another thing that I'm dealing with her caseworker, because this is wonderful, but technically she's having no basic academic education. So she's doing English and maths throughout this, it's all embedded. However, she needs a tutor because of where she is and us wanting her to achieve at least functional skills up to level 2. She needs a tutor. She has missed a ridiculous amount of school. We're talking 3 years near enough, because of the failure at the mainstream, and then that local authority not putting in provision like this. Then we moved to Cornwall. That Cornwall didn't put anything in until we'd been there well over 6 months. She had a whole 8 weeks of education there. So obviously she was doing life skills and things at home with us and all of that, but her education was still the responsibility of the local authority. And they weren't putting things in place despite me pushing, shouting and all of those things. But we are where we are now, and she's got this, and it is absolutely brilliant. And then she goes back to the horse stables on a Thursday to do the little home ed session with Imogen. That's where she kind of does her own little horse riding thing completely on her own, separate to everybody else. And she helps out with the home ed session with the younger children, which is quite nice. It's another skill that she's learning, another skill where she's able to grow another area of her learning, understanding, compassion towards other people and things like that. And then Fridays is her day to have a bedroom reset, do all her washing, drying, put it all away. And we've gone to doing that. Everybody has their own day for doing their washing and a bedroom reset, because it was just getting with 6 people, and then somebody going, oh, you've put my socks in their bag, or you've put my top in that person's room. And so I've just said to all the children, do you know what, other than Elliot obviously, you're all old enough to work the washing machine, do the drying and put your own clothes away. So they do it all on their own now. So Imogen and Eli, now their week looks like they do English with a tutor in a small group on a Monday. Eli's doing set 3, Imogen's on set 4. Imogen loves doing worksheets, so she will have something horse related. She also wants to start writing stories about horses, so she will do that on a Monday, and they will all help me with the meal plan for the food shop on Tuesday. Tuesday is maths, and we do decimal sheets. Now this is to help them with their money skills. As I've said previously, a lot of maths we don't use in our everyday life, not the complex stuff that you're taught at school anyway. However, decimals, money is all really important. So that's going to be something that we're doing together is the money side of things from the decimal, and Eli and Imogen will come and do the food shop with me. So then Wednesday, Imogen does her room, whilst Eli doesn't really do a lot, although I'm pretty sure, I need to double check my email, I'm pretty sure that Eli starts parkour next Wednesday. I need to double check which day of the week that is on. And then in the afternoon we'll go for a big woodland walk, and I'll print off some kind of worksheet over what we can find out there. Now, people might think, well, that's a bit, you know, that's very immature, probably they need something a bit more advanced. But my children are really interested in things like going camping and recognising safe foraging, and trying to work out what different types of trees are around and things like that. So they'll have a worksheet, and we will find things along the way, and we will work out if we can
Mama.
Hello, sweetheart.
Please.
Please what, darling?
Here.
Me? Right. Are you coming to say hello? I'm not lost. I'm just doing a video. Oh dear. Elliot's got a lovely cough from our holiday to Turkey. So yeah, we'll do that, and then it's also, yes, okay. It's also quite nice for Elliot. He can do those things as well. And then Thursday, also along this lovely woodland walk, there'll be photography going on. Both Eli and Imogen are quite into photography, so we'll take the big cameras along, and they'll be doing photography along the way as well. Imogen goes to the horse stables on a Thursday with Bella, and she's doing stable management and a little bit of, oh dear, a little bit of riding, and generally socialising as well. She gets on really well with the other young ladies who all go to the stables, so that's really nice for her to do. And Eli will do his bedroom and washing on a Thursday as well. Now Eli also wants to start doing football, and that's on a Thursday evening at about, I think he said it's about 5 o'clock. Again, I've got to send an email and check. Fridays, they have the option to do zoology with the same tutoring company who do the English and maths. So that's something that they might do on the Friday. It's there if they want to do it. If they don't want to do it, then that's fine. And then Saturday we've got a trip to the park with another home-ed friend. So that's what we'll do on the Saturday. Elliot, the kinds of things that I do for him, and they're just 5 to 10 minute activities. They're not very long. We might do them multiple times over the space of a day, but he'll do some counting on Monday, some colour matching on Tuesday, shapes on Wednesday, and line tracing on Thursday. Now these all have multiple different learning areas, and some of it will be I'm trying to think of the word now, recalling information. So colour matching, he knows all of his colours. He can finally say the majority of the colours. Pink and purple, I don't know what it is. Pink is also purple, and it doesn't matter how many times we tell him that pink is pink. Apparently no, pink is purple, but purple is also purple. Not sure why that is, but that's the way that is. Counting, he can say 1 and 2, and he can just about recognise 2 things on a page and say 1 and 2. So Elliot has delayed speech. We will be seeing the speech and language therapist for that, but I don't think that's until probably July or August time. There's at least a 5-month waiting list, and we're only a couple of months into that. So yeah, we're starting to try and print off communication cards and bits and pieces so that he has some help, because quite a lot of people don't understand what he's trying to say and his communication. So we're going to start making some communication cards for him to help him. Not that he's ever really away from us and doing other things with other people, but just so that he doesn't have to deal with that frustration of not being able to get across what he wants to say. So yes, so one thing that we did make, I had a little afternoon designing things on Canva. So these are his little counting cards. We can take these everywhere. They attach to the pushchair, or just to keep them together. Took these on the aeroplane with us. It was quite fun, just sat there. He loves diggers, he loves all the construction stuff, so I made these and he thinks they're great. And also, so you've got the recognition of the letters when he eventually starts doing that. You've got also, we can talk about things like, this is one digger. You can talk about the different type of vehicle that's in there as well. He's quite good at recognizing different diggers. He can't say all the words, but he does recognize the different ones. And we can say, well, there's one bucket, there's one arm, there's one boom, it's got two wheels. So this is one thing here, but you can add in additional learning for each page, and this just goes all the way up to 10. So yeah, and these have got a bit wet from being in the bag with a bottle of water, I think. But yeah, so he quite likes those. Need some slightly smaller rings, I think. Yeah? Yeah, different one. So yes, and then the other thing that I made for the plane that I am going to be using for Elliot, to help with shapes, line tracing, counting, colour matching and all that. I saw it on Facebook. There's a lady who makes learning journals, and I was like, I can make a learning journal. Well, I can do that. So this one, so he's got lots of little cars. So running his car up and down, all of these. Now this also helps with gross and fine motor skills, so using the pincer motions to hold his cars, twisting and things like that. I've been reading up a lot on this recently because Imogen's handwriting isn't great. Now she is dyslexic, and apparently from what I've been reading from in my research, children with dyslexia actually have problems with their fine motor skills. So when they have bad handwriting, it's not because they're lazy and haven't learnt to do their handwriting, it's because they don't actually have the dexterity for pen holding and things, so they need additional support to help them with that fine motor skill. So I'm also trying to build in activities for Imogen going forwards to help her, so things like kneading bread, playing with slime, bead threading. I mean, obviously she does her crocheting, she's really good with that. Yeah, she wants to have a loom band kit again, because loom bands have entered the world and I don't think they'll ever leave. They're the most annoying thing ever. But that's another grumble for another day. But yeah, so Elliot has got this, and then little things like match the colours. He could also trace down these. We can use these for counting. So that's a whole load of different learning just on one page. I might do these where I need to order some more laminating sheets. I might laminate these so that we can rub them off and do them again, rather than me having to keep doing individual pages and redoing them. This one is, we've bought some little pom-poms, so he'll just he'll use the pom-poms, and again colour counting with this one as well, really on the counting. So he'll take these and then do that, just finding those, matching those, but also again fine motor skills, having to pick those up, put them in the right place. We've got a wonderful 3D Tetris thing that my husband picked up in an auction in a massive box of games. I think we paid £4 for this box of games. There was loads in there, 2 different types of Cluedo, One was a Sherlock Holmes version, puzzles, all sorts. There's Twister in there, but I thought these were quite good because you've got the colour matching, but you've also got the shapes. So he will get these little shapes and he'll do that. And then you can also talk about, you know, this is 4 sides that are the same shape, so that's a square. And then you can say, well, the 3D of that would be a cube. So those are the kinds of learning that I'm doing with that. Dot the X, so I've got to order some bingo dabbers because the ones that I had were massively like oversaturating. And again, a bit of colour recognition. Do you want to do these ones whilst Mummy talks? So yeah, all sorts of things like that. I'm going to order some stickers, different coloured stickers, and then draw some ladybugs and put a number next to the ladybug. What colour is that one?
No.
No? What colour is it? There? What colour is it? No, you're not doing that. Okay. Yeah, do some ladybugs, put the number up by it, and then he's got to count the amount of dots and put them... Yes, darling? Wow, well done. Yeah, add the amount of dots to the ladybug. We could do that with all sorts of things. So, and then obviously for the line tracing, I've got some pages further on which I can't show you because he's now doing his... yeah, do that one there. Where's that one? Oh, have you lost that one? Oh dear, we'll have to get some more pom-poms. Can you do the yellow ones? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this. Just keep looking on Facebook, finding Pinterest as well. Pinterest is great for it. Instagram, there's all sorts of people doing these kinds of things for home ed, just getting ideas on how to help with things. And then the other thing that I'm going to do, which is actually for the older two, we need to go and buy a scrapbook because, 2 seconds, sweet pea. Mummy just needs to grab this from the back here. So what I'm going to do with the older two is we're going to do a Turkey scrapbook. We had so many conversations in Turkey about how things are different and the way they do things and all of that. So we've saved some of the money, the different currencies that we used over there. We talked about exchange rates, which was great fun.
Yes.
So we'll put those into our scrapbook. We went to a little arcade over there and played some games. We saved all the boarding passes. And then the idea is with the scrapbook, I'm going to get them to, we're going to do like a page with a fact sheet about Turkey, a page with the flag on it so they can do some artwork. And then we'll talk about all the differences. Things like my children noticed that they don't really have road markings. They don't, it's only in the more built up areas do they have, what's it called, traffic lights. Roundabouts aren't really roundabouts, they're just a random pile of concrete in the middle of a road to make you go round it. We talked about driving on the left rather than on the right. The fact that, you know, they don't really they don't have as many road laws as we do and things like that. So those are all the different bits and pieces we're going to make a lovely great big scrapbook, put some of our pictures in of the things we did. Eli improved his swimming even more and he went down the slides and he managed to get the confidence to go down the slide. He'd come off the end of it, he'd managed to keep his head just above the water and then he'd swim to the side, get out and go again. And he had a brilliant time. Up until this holiday, every time we've gone on the slides, even in the last few weeks before we were going, it's so good fun. We went to a swimming pool here with slides and either myself or my husband kind of stayed in the pool at the end of the slide just to catch him. But he's improved his swimming as well. So yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it's, yeah. Oh dear, cough, cough. Do you want to see what else is in here? Do you want to put some apples on the tree? Can you put one pom-pom on there? You put a pom-pom on there for Mummy?
No.
Just one?
Pom-pom.
No pom-poms? So yeah, so that's what the learning and home education and things look like. So Friday afternoon I think we'll start our scrapbook. It might take us a few weeks to do it, but oh, this was the tracing that we were supposed to do. Elliot didn't quite get yet that you're supposed to follow the line, but that's all right. We'll get there eventually, won't we? We'll get there eventually. So yes, but that's what a week looks like for us. We will obviously have random things that we might build in, and this will change. Imogen's little crochet group that she wanted to start up is going to be starting in June. We've got the first one of those on the 12th of June, so that's going to be great. So then we'll have she'll go to the horses, come back, and then we have to go straight. No, sorry, it's not. It's on the Friday. So if they want to do zoology, they'll do zoology, and then we'll go off and do a couple of hours of crocheting, crafting, and socialising with some friends, which will be absolutely great. And Elliot does his little baby group on a Wednesday as well, so that's his little bit of socialisation. Not that he really socialises, because if anybody comes up to him whilst he's trying to play, he just leaves. He's like, no, I don't want to play alongside you. I definitely don't want to play with you. And he moves to a station that has nobody on it, which is it's a bit sad, but you know, we deal with it. He did, however, have an amazing time on holiday with my cousin's daughter, and all I've heard for the last several days is Maya. And I have to explain to him that Maya's gone home with her mummy, and that we will see them again soon. So yes. But that's what our week looks like for next week. I am hoping when my binders come to maybe do a binder setup video, because I'm still trying to work out which. I'm watching everybody's cash stuffing videos and trying to work out. Downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go downstairs in just a second, okay? Hang on just a second. Sorry about that. Was just trying to get a smallest person to go off and play with his siblings for a second whilst I finish this video. Yeah, I'm still trying to work out what's gonna work best for us, how to divide up my binders, and things like that. Whether I do like a game day with challenges, or whether I'm just going to stuff money into each of the categories as it needs to be done. I'm not sure. And then yeah, trying to work things out, because we've got things that we need to pay for quite urgently, for them to be able to continue and start new educational things from September. So yeah, that's some stuff that I'll chat about in my budgeting video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a proper budgeting video, but I think I am. I think I'm going to do like income, expenses and all of that. But anyway, so that's the home ed. That's what it looks like. I haven't put on here when they do cooking, because they don't always decide they want to do cooking with me until the last minute. So they predominantly make their own lunches every day. Eli, I did do a video actually of Eli making cinnamon French toast. So if anybody is interested, pop up a comment and tell me if you guys want to see that, if you want me to do like turn it into a short or a reel or something. I could do that. I'm sure you don't want to see the whole thing. But yeah, I think that might be quite nice to show people. And then, yeah, I will come back again next week and do this all over again if people have enjoyed it. If not, and you don't want to hear me waffling about my children's education and stay updated on what's happening with Isabella and Imogen, we have also applied for an EHCP. However, that's a whole different story around what's going to happen with that. But yeah, if you want to keep updated and see what they're doing, I will speak to them about whether they're happy for me to show you the work they've done. And if so, then what I can do is show you, say next week, I can show you some of the work that they've done on their worksheets and things, and their scrapbook book and all of that. And then we'll talk about what's happening for the week going forwards. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody for watching. I hope you've all had a lovely week or so since I last spoke to you. I hope that you are all where you want to be. If you're not, that you've got a plan. And I will look forward to speaking to you again with a budget video in the next couple of days. Bye everyone.